It is the 87th minute. The ball falls absolutely perfectly. The goal is completely gaping, and Harry Kane, of all people, somehow blazes it over the bar. Honestly, it's got to be the most agonizing moment of the tournament so far. Seriously, how on earth did he miss this? Right, let's dive into this massive reality check. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are breaking down that highly anticipated England versus Ghana match. Look, coming off that high-flying 4-2 win over Croatia, expectations for Thomas Tuchel's men were absolutely sky-high. But what we got instead, a deeply, deeply frustrating 0-0 draw. I actually want to drop the pace right here for a second just to reflect on how incredibly slow the start of this match really was. Zero. Literally zero. That is exactly how many shots on target England managed in the entire first half. I mean, it wasn't until the 57th minute that Anthony Gordon finally registered their very first shot on target. And even then, he fired it right straight into the midriff of the Ghanaian goalkeeper. And, this stat perfectly illustrates why the game felt like such a slog. England completed 190 more passes than Ghana, but it was entirely sterile possession. On the flip side, Ghana's coach, Carlos Queiroz, executed a complete defensive masterclass. He set up this incredibly deep 5-4-1 defensive block, just effortlessly absorbing all that pressure and basically forcing a complete tactical stalemate. Those first half struggles were painfully real. The atmosphere was incredibly tense. Thomas Partey was consistently booed by the crowd. He does have a trial scheduled for next year. And on the pitch, things just looked really disjointed for the English side. Declan Rice headed a rare chance over the bar, and Noni Madueku's early influence pretty much entirely fizzled out. So unsurprisingly, the half ends with these loud, hostile boos just echoing around the stadium. Okay, so Tuchel knows he desperately needs to change the momentum. At the 65-minute mark, he brings on Bukayo Saka, which was a huge call given his Achilles concern, alongside Matt O'Reilly. Then Rodgers and Eze enter the fray at 74 minutes, and the impact was practically instant right at that 65-minute mark. Literally, as soon as O'Reilly came on, those overlapping runs instantly improved, and it finally injected some much-needed life into the attack. But of course, just as England finally starts to find a rhythm, the 79th minute hits. Ghana suddenly launches this incredibly dangerous counterattack, and it just sparks pure, unadulterated chaos inside the England penalty box. The tension in the stadium absolutely skyrocketed.
Let's break this controversy down impartially because it's a huge talking point. Substitute Prince Adu bursts into the box and Ezri Konsa makes a very awkward, highly risky tackle. The ball then falls to Semenyo, who takes a shot, but he is flagged for offside. Now, by the strict letter of the law, the non-penalty call is entirely correct due to that offside interference. But let's be real, Konsa's challenge itself lived in a very dangerous gray area.
Well, as you might expect, Carlos Queiroz really did not care for the technicalities of the offside rule. Just listen to his post-match reaction. "I'm not sure the VAR is still working. Is it still working?" He was absolutely furious. He claimed England was incredibly lucky and insisted that Konsa deserved a straight red card and that Ghana absolutely deserved a penalty. It is one of those breathless, totally frantic moments that's going to be debated on replays for the rest of the tournament. So I have to ask all of you, penalty or not? Was VAR right to rely on that offside technicality, or did England dodge a massive game-ending bullet right there? Somehow, England survived the scare, and from there, the final minutes just descended into rapid-fire chaos. 86th minute, Saka cuts inside and fires off a lethal shot, but Asari miraculously parries it away. Then, the 87th minute, O'Reilly connects with a massive, powerful header, and it just smashes directly into the crossbar. The ball bounces loose. It falls absolutely perfectly into the 6-yard box. The goalkeeper is completely beaten. He is totally out of position. The goal is literally gaping, and Harry Kane blazes it over the net. It's just unbelievable. Are we looking at the miss of the tournament here? A massive collective groan just swallowed the entire stadium. Harry Kane threw his hands up to apologize to the fans right away, and Thomas Tuchel was just left standing on the sidelines, literally holding his head in utter despair.
That final push was just absolute sheer panic. You had the stadium groaning, Tuchel in pure disbelief, and Kane's apology. But, incredibly, the drama still wasn't over. Deep into stoppage time, 90 plus 3 minutes, Mark Guéhi rises up for a powerful header. It looks absolutely destined for the back of the net, but it's dramatically cleared right off the goal line.
And that wild sequence is what finally sealed the 0-0 reality. So, looking back, why on earth did England look so flat before those chaotic final 10 minutes? Honestly, it comes down to Tuchel's tactics. He made a really controversial decision to bench O'Reilly and start Jed Spence instead. It was an experiment, and it flat out failed to generate any meaningful attacks. The contrast is incredibly stark when you see the instant attacking impact O'Reilly had the very second he stepped onto the pitch. But hey, we absolutely have to give credit exactly where it's due. This wasn't just a story of England failing, this was a complete testament to a defensive masterclass by Ghana. Kairaz's 5-4-1 block was practically structural perfection. Jordan Ayew led this relentless pressing game from the front that gave England absolutely no time to settle on the ball. And goalkeeper Benjamin Osere put on a flawless display with massive crucial saves right when it mattered most.
Let's actually zoom out for a second to look at the bigger picture, because there is a macro pattern here that is deeply, deeply concerning for England. Look at the timeline of their second games in recent major tournaments. 2021 against Scotland, 0-0. 2022 against the USA, 0-0. 2024 against Denmark, 1-1. And now 2026 against Ghana, yet another 0-0. It is a certified second game curse. They just consistently hit a brick wall and struggle to find any rhythm whatsoever in match week 2.
Which brings us to exactly where things stand right now. A perfectly balanced, incredibly high-stakes Group L finale set for Saturday. Both England and Ghana are sitting dead even on 4 points each. England is going to have to face Panama, while Ghana takes on Croatia. Everything is entirely on the line here, folks, and the pressure is at an absolute maximum for both squads to secure their progression.
So, I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought. After a reality check quite like this one, a 0-shot first half, and a frustratingly blunt attack capped off by that heartbreaking Harry Kane miss, can England really win the World Cup playing in this form? I really want to hear what you all think about this, so definitely drop your thoughts below. We're going to be back next time with our explainer covering Luka Modric's truly incredible 200th cap milestone for Croatia. Thank you so much for joining me to break this all down today, and I'll catch you in the next one.